One SAT problem for a day. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be dealing with this type of questions. So this is asking for, in the given equation, k is an integer constant. If the equation has no real solution, what is the least possible value of k? Okay, so this is the type of questions that mostly occurs on the very last end of the math section in the SAT problems. So these problems are challenging and are tricky. This involves some like logical thinkings. These are not straightforward. So just keep following along and pay attention. We will dive deep into it. Okay, so first of all, we can, by looking at this question, by expanding the given functions. So by expanding, we can substitute x into the parentheses and given us this. And then looking at this, is it sounds familiar to you? Well, it's a quadratic formula. It's a quadratic function, so which means we're gonna apply quadratic formulas with it. So remember, quadratic formula is this. To k. Okay, so remember k is a constant in here, right? So even though I write it like backwards, it should be writing as this. Okay, if it sounds like more comfortable to you. Okay, so then just think about this a little bit. So it says for the least possible value of k, and there's no solution to this function, which means that when will this be happen when there's like no solutions? Well, the only thing is that when the inner part of this is less than 0. Okay, so when it's less than 0, then the answer will not be real numbers at all. It will be like imaginary numbers or something, but it's definitely match the requirement for the question. So that's what we're gonna dealing with, which means that we're gonna setting the whole things inside the square root be less than 0. And then it's just basic solving things. We're gonna moving 56 to the square root to the right side, which give us negative 3,136. And then be careful when you're doing like when you're dividing by the negative numbers in both sides for solving an inequality. You have to change the direction of the sign. So when you're dividing by negative 64 on both sides, you have to change from facing this, facing left to facing right. Okay, so then it will yields k is greater than 64k is greater than 3136, and then k is greater than 49. Okay, so at this case, you're already done 99% of this question correct. So the final step, which is also a very important step, is considering about what is the possible value of k. So k is an integer constant, remember. So the next number that greater than 49, what will that be? Well, it will be 50, right? Obviously. So k will be 50 in this case. So then this is our final answer for this question. So when you're math these type of questions, when you're like solving the math section in your SAT exams, just don't be afraid of it. Even though like I know these questions will occur like on the probably end of the math parts, that which means like they're kind of challenging, and but you're just gonna have to pay attention and calm down. Like even though you have no clue at this, you're just gonna have to like think about it a little bit. It's not really hard, but it really it really requires some efforts and some logical thinkings with it. Like for example, no real solutions means that the things inside, like under the square root, is gonna be less than 0, and the least possible value is the given range. Like you have to find the range first, and then for the least possible value, you have to like do some thinkings and add 1 to it, or add some other numbers, like depending on the questions. Okay, so this is for my tips for these questions and for my solving steps for these questions, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this video makes some sense to you and helps you a little bit. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.